Hey there, YouTube! Shiratora 1979, also known as Robert Sorry, and his wife, the lovely, lovely, lovely Mrs. Shiratora 1979. Actually, that's not your birth year, is it?
No.
I didn't think so. Anyway, doing another quick capture vid because me and my wife were sitting here talking at dinner at a fabulous barbecue restaurant, and on the way home. Today, I was listening to a new Christian talk station by the American Family Association or something like that. I don't remember much. But one of the talk shows had Ray Comfort on it. And for those of you who don't know who Ray Comfort is, he works with Kirk Cameron on the entire creationism idea. Now, to be fair, there's somewhat he says I have no problem with, not regarding creationism, as everybody knows I do believe, in evolution. Have no problem with it, really don't, and I'm still a Christian. But he said some things that just made me hit my head against the steering wheel. And I am hoping that maybe some of you out there can explain this to us. And I'm being very serious because I really don't understand where they're coming from. He is of the opinion, because someone asked him on the radio, that he himself, I don't remember the exact words the person used, but so I'm going to paraphrase it. But he said, the caller asked Ray Comfort, you, by your own admission, have absolutely no scientific knowledge nor background, and you know very little of the theory of evolution, of evolutionary theory. In fact, you misrepresent it as Darwinism. And anyone out there who studies evolution, who knows it, knows Darwin may have been the originator, but the theory has evolved so far beyond it, it's no longer, Darwin has very little to do with it. But he was going on saying, you know none of this, so why can we trust in what you say when you speak about how wrong it is, when by your own admission you know nothing? The caller also mentioned that it was, like me, is a Christian who believes in evolution. One of the things he said that really did offend me was that a Christian who believes in evolution is a contradiction in terms. I'm not even going to get into that. You can see the look on my wife's face. You can speak up. If you have to say something, please speak up. Say it. Okay, she doesn't want to say anything. It looks like she gets that look on her face when she wants to say something. Anyway, but no, this is a question I'm just putting out there. Then he went on to saying, he said, the great thing about Christianity, about the Bible, is you don't have to know anything about science to know the truth behind it. Yeah, he went on to say that true science, once again, there is these fabulous idea of true that he loves to use. Science will always agree with the Bible.
So why bother with the scientific method at all? Furthermore, does he really want to live in a world where all science is based on the Bible and nobody ever thought of employing objective testing of anything? Wow, we wouldn't have all those cool things like vaccines and cell phones and chemotherapy. All those great things that science has produced since the Bible was written.
And honestly, I want to know, for those of you who follow this, who believe as Ray Comfort does, could you please answer what she just asked? If science has to agree with the Bible, why even have a scientific field at all? Because that very statement goes against the scientific method in its entirety. So,
unless what he means is that as long as science does not contradict the Bible, then it's okay. But then you get into all those, sticky facts that contradict their narrow interpretation of Scripture. And what are you going to do with all those? Say they're not real science, but then you make the Bible out to be ridiculous because it's clearly not existing in the real world that all these scientific facts have come from. And either God is the God of the real world where real natural processes happen, or he's an irrelevant mythology of ancient Middle Eastern nomads.
And keep in mind, we are Christians. We believe the God of the universe. I mean, we believe God is behind it all. Okay?
I personally ascribe to the theory that the creator of the entire universe is the same God in that mythology of ancient Middle Eastern nomads. So you can just take that for what it's worth. But continue.
So, but I guess what it comes down to is this entire idea of religion versus science that I've always had this problem. And honestly, where I see this coming from, for the most part, is from the Christian literalist perspective. That you have to take the Bible as 100% accurate in every single little detail. There can be no interpretation, or it can't be, what is it? Self-interpret. What was that thing you were saying?
Oh, their theory that science contradicts, or their theory that evolution contradicts the Bible is based on a narrow interpretation, that they think that Scripture is the meaning of Scripture is totally self-evident and obvious, and they think that you could just open it up and read the words on the page, and that's exactly what they mean, and that's a linguistic impossibility for lots of issues that you've brought up in other forums, and that the 3 minutes we have left here are not long enough to go into. But
which it gets into, she brought up a question, is how many people out there have actually read the scriptures? I'm not talking the translations. I'm talking, ancient Greek, Hebrew, and some Aramaic. Thank you. To be able to read it. Okay, we're not talking translations. I mean, I can't say I have. I'm studying it. She's studying it a lot more, but we can't even make that claim. So unless you've done that, how can you make those kind of claims? I mean, I'm serious. So these are just. There's a lot more. I have as you can see, creationism confounds me, because you're trying to turn something that is not a science, never was intended to be a science, was not written as a science, into a science. And it's like people can't just have faith that there is a God, and that that he is the God of Abraham for the Christians. Okay, I believe he is. Don't get me wrong, I believe Christianity is right, as everybody out here knows. But I'm trying to at least be reasonable in my understanding. And I understand that there are some aspects of God I will not understand. Till the dying day doesn't mean I'm not going to stop loving or trying to follow my chosen faith. But I'm sorry, but I've seen creationism do more harm to Christianity. I've seen more people leave the Christian faith because of not because of evolution. They had no problem with evolution. It's the creationists going out there saying, if you don't believe in creationism, you're not a Christian.
If you can't get in line with our narrow interpretation of Scripture and the anti-intellectual, anti-scientific, anti-common sense position that it represents, then you're not really a Christian. So, where does that leave a lot of people?
Yeah. But I mean, this is a little bit of a rambling video. We really didn't.
You didn't even tell me what the topic was before you started.
That's true. But I really wanted to do something where I can include everybody out here with a conversation with us, because I'd love video replies, text replies. If you agree with me, you disagree with me, I'll approve it all. I just like your opinions on all this.
No swearing.
That's going to be hard for some of my subscribers.
Oh, okay, well, you can swear then.
Anyway, God bless. Take care. Thank you. I hope to hear from replies.